Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim-Nakrin. Of course, we continue to watch the latest with Hurricane Helene, now a Category 2 storm, and it is expected to have impacts here in the state of Georgia. Preparations underway by the Georgia Emergency Management Agency and other organizations. ANF investigates, Atlanta News First investigator Andy Parati spoke with the Georgia Insurance Commissioner about really what to look out for after the storm.
Joining me now is Georgia Insurance Commissioner John King. Commissioner, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. We appreciate the opportunity.
So Tropical Storm Helene is on its way. What should Georgians do right now in preparation of the storm?
There's a number of things. First of all, stay aware of where the storm, in the path of the storm, and really be listening to the local authorities and start, it is my wish, I hope that people have prepared already, like, for example, loading key documents, birth certificates, things, the policy, and take copies of those and and save them into the cloud. So no matter where you are, you can get those. What we're asking people is just, have a plan, talk to your family. If you have to evacuate, where are you going? What is making sure that your car has got, fuel, that you have water, do you have alternate communications, a portable radio so you can keep up with, but also making sure that your family knows that if you're in different locations when the storm comes, where are you going to rally, where are you going to gather, and where you go. Especially children, having that conversation is very important before an event. Trying to figure it out when you have, it's at night, the wind is blowing. That adds additional stress to families, especially children. And have a plan for your pets as well.
You hinted about this just a moment ago, but talk to me about the importance of taking inventory of your property right now.
It's something as simple as going around your home and photographing it with your phone and saving those images. That way you can show, if you have to put in a claim, you can show to the insurance company the condition that you had these items, the condition of these items. It makes the filing of that claim a lot faster. Make sure that you have the name of your agent and your company handy, so in case you have a loss, you know where to call.
And also take inventory of outside your home and maybe secure some things before the storm arrives?
Absolutely, especially, furniture like lawn, things that could be lifted up with the wind. If you're in a path, we're concerned obviously for the speed of wind, but also we're concerned about water damage and flooding.
So we just talked about things to do before a storm approaches. What should people do after a storm if their property was damaged?
First of all, is pay attention to your local authorities of when areas is safe to re-enter the affected area. It's really important. A lot of people, I know there's a lot of anxiety of people wanting to go back to take, look at what kind of damage, but a lot of people become injured or additional damage occurs when people going into an area that hasn't been cleared by the authorities. It's really important to have that patience. The local authorities, local police departments, the firefighters, the National Guard, all of us have been, are on standby. We will have our employees going into the affected areas to assist people in getting their claims started. If there's significant damage in one area, we will set up what we call a claims village and we will bring representatives of the insurance industry to those locations to facilitate people's claims. We will also be out there guarding against fraudsters to come into communities to try to defraud, victims of damage. And so we're very mindful of that.
Talk to me about, everyone always seems to have some questions about if a tree falls on their property, their home, and that tree wasn't on their property, maybe it's their neighbors, who's responsible?
That is a question that comes up all the time, and we have a number of consumer service. The key is if it's an act of God, if the owner was told, hey, this is this is a damaged tree, is a risk. That's one area. Then the person, where the tree comes from is responsible. But if it's just something that happens and nobody had any notice, what we call an act of God, then your insurance company will take care of it. We will have people on the ground to mitigate those kind of questions, so you don't have to. And we have our consumer service advocates are standing by to be able to answer those questions either on the phone or and most importantly, if you feel like an insurance company has not treated you fairly, we ask people to call our agency and file a complaint. That is why the Georgia Insurance Commissioner's Office exists, is to help consumers resolve these issues. And if you don't mind, I'd like to give you our phone number for our agency so people can call if you could
Absolutely.
post it. It's 404-656-2070 or toll free 1-800-656-2298.
Great. And just to clarify, the tree issue is it's only responsible for the neighbor potentially would only be responsible if you've documented a complaint saying, hey, your tree is diseased or old and I'm worried that it'll impact my home.
It's leaning over my property. It could become a hazard. Being told up front is one factor, but if it falls on your property, but even if there's any question, that is why our agency exists. And we also have a website, oci.georgia.gov, and for people to make those inquiries, we either by email or calling our phone number.
And talk to me about the importance of securing your property. Say you have roof damage and it's shortly after the storm. There are some responsibilities on the homeowner, right?
That is correct. What we ask people is only do repairs, temporary repairs, to prevent further damage. Don't sign a contract and have or make an arrangement to have roofs replaced or repaired without your insurance company and having a claim filed. A lot of people sometimes misunderstand that, because a lot of the fraudsters will show up in your neighborhood hours after the storm and are shoving a contract in front of you. I ask people, be very mindful not to sign any contracts with people they don't know. So we ask, do temporary repairs to prevent further damage, but to be patient, work with your insurance company, and if the insurance company doesn't respond in a timely manner, then call us. We will get them to respond.
And why is it important to potentially put a tarp on your home while you're waiting to file that claim and go through that process?
It's important because it prevents further damage, not only to your property, so it helps keep controls over the claim. We don't want people to stand by and have additional property, especially precious items that cannot be replaced or very hard to replace, to be damaged. And so a tarp would be appropriate. And that is part of the process that a company will reimburse you as well.
Is there anything else that you think the public, Georgians, should know as this storm is about to approach and after the storm that we didn't speak about?
I think it's important for them to visit our website, but also visit the GEMA website. It's got some great tips and helps build your kit. But the biggest thing about it is talk to your family before the storm arrives, so you have a plan and you're not trying to figure it out in the middle of the night with the wind howling and the rain and the lights out.
Make a plan, look over your insurance policy, document everything.
Absolutely. And be mindful of the warnings and notices that our local authorities in the state, in state GEMA are putting out. Don't be complacent. We've been so fortunate for years now. And I'm concerned now that people will be complacent and won't take this seriously. We don't put these warnings. The governor's office does not put warnings like these lightly. It's because we're concerned about the power of the storm.
Great. Georgia Insurance Commissioner John King, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you and your public.
And And again, just a reminder, you can text 470-777 to get WANF to get updates on the storm sent right to your phone. Download our free mobile news app, and that way you can get the latest on what's happening with Helene sent right to your phone. I would download not just the mobile news app, but our First Alert weather app, which is very, very helpful, especially if the power goes out. Then your phone really becomes your lifeline and your source of information. Again, just text 470-777 WANF. Thanks for being with us.